All right, so today we're going to be talking a little bit about FSD version 14. It does turn out that they actually have, at least to some people, released the version 14.1.5, I believe, and that includes the Cybertruck. I'm not sure that it actually includes all of the features that are actually on the Y. So the features that we actually already have, they may not even have that on the Cybertruck, but hopefully they do get a lot of the stuff that the Cybertruck has been lacking. Like, they haven't been on 14 at all yet because of the rear wheel steering, apparently. They also don't have smart summon and that sort of thing, so hopefully they get smart summon and the ability to start from park and all that stuff that brings it up to parity with the Model Y. So that's interesting to see how that's going. And it is on a version, I believe it's 2025.38.8.5 or something like that. But that does sound like it would actually be on a version that might have the Tron update or something. That would be cool if they got the Tron update, because currently on our Hardware 4 Model Y, we do not have the Tron update, where it can be like look like a Tron light cycle and that sort of thing. And that's a pretty cool feature, but it's only available on our Hardware 3 Model Y, because our Hardware 4 Model Y got a separate branch to get on that 14.1.4, well, 3 and 4. And so it'd be nice if they brought it all up to parity. I assume that they're going to probably bring all of those extra updates together once they go to 14.2, most likely, because that's the one that they are talking about. 14.2 is going to be the one that's going to be the wide release. Hopefully it's going to be a lot smoother and be ready for basically the average person that doesn't really care so much about the nerdy details of exactly what it can or cannot do on FSD, and really just likes to use it for the comfort factor. That's where hopefully 14.2 is going to go. But I did want to talk about a few things on 14.1.4 that are still problematic for me. So, I mean, we're using it right now, and I use it all the time, and it does do a great job for the most part. However, it does still have brake stutters, especially, it seems, around pedestrians. So if you're around a pedestrian that looks like they may or may not be crossing the street, or they make some gesture or something, it will be really timid, and it'll usually start, stop when that happens. So that's not comfortable. I wish it would not do that. It should just be smooth like 13.2.9 was. It was still safe, very safe around pedestrians. Obviously, that's the goal. That's the most important priority. But when it makes those decisions, it should not do like a start, stop. It should just be smooth about whichever decision it makes, whether it says, okay, we need to stop or we need to go. It just needs to make that decision, and it needs to make it smoothly. It shouldn't be like just going back and forth between it. So that seems like what it's doing with pedestrians right now. So that's a problem. The other thing is, it does those brake stutters around right turns, especially on like a red light, where it's a right on red, and you can do a right on red, but it will stop, and then it'll like creep forward a little bit and stop, and creep forward and stop, and it seems very hesitant to go. And I'm not really sure what that's all about. It definitely, I've had to commonly hit the accelerator in those scenarios, just because I was worried about the people behind me potentially. They're not going to rear end me, because I don't think we even went enough for them to think that we were going. But it's enough to be very uncomfortable, and they're going to want me to go, and they're probably going to honk at me if I don't go, because it just seems like strange behavior for sure. So those are two brake stutter situations that we have. And then the other thing that we are dealing with, which we might actually see here, I'm not sure if it's actually going to be, I think it will be, a school zone coming up here. So we can actually see if we get out in front of, yeah, so if we're the first car here, we actually might be able to see if for sure it doesn't actually respond to a school zone. But my understanding, or at least my experience with some of these other school zones, is it doesn't seem to respond to a school zone, which is really unfortunate, especially because we do not have a max speed indicator. And that means that actually right now, once we go through this school zone, I will, unless I have some car in front of me, I'm going to have to disengage FSD in order to follow the speed limit for the school zone. So they definitely need to be able to support school zones, especially for those speed situation, because I have no user input as far as the cap speed that I want it to go. Other than that, I really actually have enjoyed the speed profiles. It's, if I want to go exactly the speed limit, as long as it has the correct speed limit, then Sloth is great. And I usually go chill or standard because it's, about 2 to 5 miles per hour over the speed limit. But in the neighborhood, I want to go the speed limit at most. So I just put it on Sloth. And then for the situations where for some reason it has the speed limit way lower, like right outside our neighborhood, it thinks that our speed limit is 30 miles per hour when it's actually 45. I can actually put it on Mad Max and it will basically go 50, which is the speed that I'd want it to go comfortably on that part of the road, because the people coming up behind me are going 50 to 55 for sure. So it's actually kind of dangerous to be pegged at 30 miles per hour there. So overall speed profiles have been pretty nice. The one thing that they haven't been good for, or haven't fixed all the problems I have on, is on the interstate. So I have noticed that we still have a lot of trouble on the interstate when it comes to merge traffic. Now, I'm just going to go ahead. Okay, so we have the school flashing sign. I'm going to go ahead and put it into Sloth mode. Okay, we actually have a lead car here. So, I don't know. Oh, hey, look. Okay. I mean, you can't see. Let me show you. But it actually does say the speed limit is 25. Okay. So, for some school zones, it appears that maybe it does actually have the school zone working. I don't know what is different, because we'll have another school zone later, so we'll check that out and see if it does the same thing around that school zone. But in my previous experiences, it has not responded to school zones, so that has been a problem. And I've seen other people on 14.1.3 and 4 have also had the same experience where it does not actually go to the school zones. But okay, so it switched to 45 already, and we haven't actually gotten to the end of the school zone. So I don't know how it's determining the school zone. That's interesting. It's definitely not reading the end of school zone sign, because otherwise it would have waited until that sign. Yeah, so they just need to work on that. They need to work on the speed for the school zones. That's definitely going to be problematic. I put down the Sloth, and it seemed like it was going to honor that 25 mile per hour speed zone, but then it would have gone back up to 45 sooner than it should have if we didn't have this car in front of us. So yes, speed control around school zones, definitely something that needs to take into account. But getting back to the interstate, the biggest problem I've had with it, which is actually dangerous, is that it does not seem to honor people that are trying to merge into traffic. So when there is a car that is merging into the interstate, the car, our car on FSD should know exactly when they're going to be able to merge in and try to make room for them. Either slow down, speed up, get over if it's open, just be accommodating to allow that person to get over. But in multiple occasions now, I have seen it where it does not get over, it does not speed up, it does not slow down. It basically matches their speed and does not care that their lane is ending and they're going to have to merge over, and therefore they're like, we're going the same speed. That's like the worst possible thing. Now, I get it. It's not really the job of the people that are on the interstate already to make that merge clean. It's the person that is merging on that needs to time it right, get the right speed, and find the right gap in between cars. But there's certainly a way to be better about that. And in previous versions of FSD, I have seen it actually do that properly, where it sees that somebody's merging in, and it's going to slow down, or it's going to just get over. I mean, just getting over in advance of cars merging on is the best way to handle it. And I don't, even if you put it in Mad Max, it doesn't do that. So it just definitely needs to go back to the situation where it's going to make it easier for merging traffic to get in without any trouble. I don't, that's actually a safety issue, because if I have to take over at the last minute because it didn't do what it was supposed to do, I got to like slam on the brakes or whatever, and the other people don't know what I'm doing. I mean, again, yes, it's on the merging traffic's side of responsibility to make sure that they don't merge. But I'm telling you, they just wait until the last second and they don't put a turn signal on, and they just come over. And so sometimes I don't think they even look. I mean, it's just, they just don't even care. So I'm not really sure what's going through people's mind, but obviously the car needs to figure out a safe way to avoid that scenario as much as possible. And I would rather be courteous in that situation to either get in the other lane, slow down, or speed up, whatever's going to be most appropriate, to anticipate when they're going to actually be merging on, and avoid any of that like back and forth. Oh, are they going to merge into me or not? Are you going to slow down, or am I going to slow down? Who's going to do what? You know, I will say that I kind of wonder if it does do that if the person that is merging puts their turn signal on, because sometimes it feels like it has done that. But very few people put their turn signal on to merge, as it turns out, at least in our area. So that creates a problem often. Yeah. So those are the things, those are the areas, just the smoothness of the car. There has been, the only other thing that I've run into that does seem problematic is sometimes it will not choose a lane quickly. So it'll kind of act like it's going to get over, and then it's not going to get over, and then it's going to get over. So it kind of goes back and forth between two lanes. It kind of has like lane indecision. It signals for it and everything, but I mean, if you put your turn signal on and you gotta like commit, if there's no reason for you not to commit, you should just commit. Oh, yes, one other thing that I have seen a lot of, it does seem to want to get around debris in the road. Sometimes it will just be paint on the road or something like that. It'll try to get around. And I've also seen it get really scared of leaves blowing. So the other day we were coming back from church, well, I guess yesterday, we were coming back from church, and this lady was blowing leaves into the street, and the leaves were all blowing up in our lane. So the car tried to get over into, there's like a center turn lane to get around these leaves blowing, and it was just all kinds of confused. So I just had to like turn off. I had to disengage FSD because it was just crazy that it was going to get over into the turn lane to get around these leaves. Now, I don't know why she was blowing leaves up like into the middle of the street. That was kind of weird, I thought, but nevertheless, the leaves were not going to cause any harm for the car, and so it should be able to actually tell, you know, what things are something that it should get around and what things are not things that it should get around. So definitely going to have to work on seeing objects better and treating them appropriately. All right, so we do have a little bit of construction work here, so it might lane shift or whatever, but the speed limit is 40. It's going to go down to 30, but it's still not a school zone technically. But it'll go back up to 40 miles per hour, and then there is a school zone, which I believe is 30 miles per hour. So we'll see, and I don't think this one up here actually has the lights over the street. So we'll have to see. Maybe it's a difference between whether the school zone sign that's flashing is on the side of the street versus above the street. Could be. I'm not sure. But all of this to say, FSD 14, once they smooth it out and maybe put in a couple of these advancements, extra features for the speed profiles and stuff, is going to be a great version. And hopefully they'll start actually adding some unsupervised moments where basically you don't have to pay attention. Okay, it just went down around a pothole. That was actually good. There was a pothole, it went around it, and that was good. So I'm happy that it does avoid things that it should avoid. It just sometimes avoids things that it shouldn't. And the other day it did run over. It almost seemed like it was seeking out a pothole, so that was bad. So we're in a 30 mile per hour. We're going to go back up to the 40 mile per hour. We have a bunch of cars in front of us, so I actually don't think we're going to have any testing of whether the school zone is honored. But I will go ahead and show you that right now it does say it's 40 miles per hour. And if it switches to 30, I'll show you, because we will, I'm pretty sure, have a school zone up here. So if it does switch that speed limit, then maybe, maybe it has figured out some school zone stuff. I'm not sure. But 14.2, hopefully when they smooth these things out, I'm hoping it's going to be a really great version of FSD. Yep, so here is the 30 mile per hour school zone flashing sign right there. And it did update to 30 miles per hour. Yeah. Now, I don't know. I mean, maybe it just depends on the school zone, but I've had trouble with it in the past. Maybe I'll have to do a video on more of testing with the school zones. Now we do have a traffic director here. So he's waving us on. And the car was actually kind of responding to what he was doing. Ooh, wow. All right, I had to disengage because I actually don't know what it was doing. Actually, like it was going to turn right into that neighborhood for some reason. Weird. That was really weird. Yeah, I can't even think of why it would do that, because that was there's no point in going to that neighborhood, and definitely don't want to be in the right turn lane to turn left at this light. So that was weird. Anyway, I was talking about how it was responding to that traffic director. It was actually kind of doing a little bit of the brake tapping based on, I don't know if it was trying to decide whether he was going to be walking out, or whether he was actually saying to come forward or to stop. He definitely was just saying to move along, but it's things like that. I mean, there was no reason to do any brake stuttering at all, but it definitely did in that situation. So all in all, there's still some things to improve on 14, and I'm hoping that most of them are cleaned up by 14.2, but we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, I have used FSD for this whole time. However, I did have to disengage for that situation back there for some reason. It just decided to act like it was going to turn right for no reason. But other than that, it was clean. And it did seem to honor the school zone. So anyway, that's it for this one. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.